SMT Nation, we back. We've got a good news, bad news type of video for you here today. Good news out of AT&T, a bit of a network and prepaid kind of update, I suppose. We'll highlight those nice things, and then Starlink's kind of sort of bad news, I guess. I don't know. I guess we should have just knew it was coming. Actually, now that you see it in hindsight, the probably should have saw it coming our way. Anyways, dated from November 4th, 2022. We got wind of this last week at the podcast. I think it was SMT Nation supporter, viewer, subscriber, uh, Vamonos. I forget what it was. Anyways, big shout out to you, whomever, yeah, however you got your username. I'm sorry, man. I just forgot. So nothing personal at all. Anyways, Starlink has a new fair use policy for its customers. There is going to be soft data limits moving forward on pretty much all their plans and all their different types of access. The change comes after months of slowing speeds across the country. The high demand for Starlink continues to push the network to its max. Okay, so they've got services called the RV, they've got the maritime service, they've got the residential, they've got all these different plans or service offers that they have, and they're going to be changing the fair use policies now. So the residential Starlink customer, so you've got it for home. Okay, it's fixed to a location. You now have a 1 terabyte priority access data allotment. So after that data is used up, you will have unlimited basic data, which means you're not going to have priority access. Okay, so you get 1 terabyte of priority access. Then you're going to be subject to deprioritization, like we see with the mobile network operators like Verizon and T-Mobile and AT&T. They reserve the right to slow you down if you're one of the higher data consumers on the network. So, for example, it'd be like the top 10% of users would be subjected to these deprioritization or network management tools. Okay, guys, so this is just something to look out for. I will tell you that a majority of people don't use a terabyte. A majority of people are probably closer to 5, 6, or 700 gigs, which is not 1 terabyte. 1 terabyte's just over 1,000 gigs. Okay, so chances are you won't be impacted, but it does indicate that this capacity, as Dennis 4.0 has been telling us, satellite internet is a finite resource, and here it is. It also says here that data usage between 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. will not count towards the priority access data limit for residential and business plans. So that means that the usage between those hours is free of any type of monitoring or metering. They're not even going to consider it because those are off peak hours, and clearly they've got enough data. They've studied it enough. They've watched the usage, and that's not when it's a problem. It's probably going to be before that, right? It's going to be the hours of 5 p.m. after work all the way up to about 11 p.m. And then people start going to sleep. Most people are asleep past midnight, especially during the work week. Maybe you could save some of your heavier downloads for after 11 p.m. Maybe you want to download some games. Maybe you got to upload some videos or something like that. You got to, do some OS updates or something, any of that type of stuff. Maybe wait until then so it doesn't hurt your priority data limit. And if you don't really care and you don't use that much, then it's fine. Maritime and aviation customers, it says any data used at any time counts towards the priority access quota. So they're not going to get that same rule. Okay, basic data users are no longer prioritized over the Starlink users during times of network congestion. Basic data users will experience slower speeds and reduced performance compared to priority access users. Okay, so there you guys have it. Residential users will get 1 terabyte of priority access data each month. Business users can choose from a range of between 500 gigs and 3 terabytes each month. So they've got a couple of access plans here. I'll go ahead and link this for you guys to check out so you can see all the details. The new data limit impacts residential, business, maritime, and aviation service plans. RV, portability, and best effort users always have deprioritized data and will use unlimited basic data with no priority access allotment. So those are new terms, I suppose, if that wasn't there before. Okay, so you're going to have to monitor your data usage if you think you're going to be impacted by this. Let's say that you go over your priority access data, they're going to slow you to 1 megabit per second. 1 megabit, folks, on some of those plans. Not all of them, on some of the plans. Okay, so if you want to purchase high-speed data, it's going to be 25 cents per gig. All right, and then they're going to bill you for it. Speed specifications cut by 50%. So for residential users, you used to expect 200 megabits per second. They've cut that in half. Expect 100 instead of the 200. Wowee, they're really cutting it. Actually, here's the actual terminology here, the fair use policy. It discusses all the business thing. I think the business one is actually hurt pretty badly. If you're a business, I mean, it's really expensive too. So I'm going to go ahead and link this so you guys can get all the deets and how it might impact your service. There's probably a lot of people that are not really going to be impacted by this because they don't use more than a tera. But if you have been using more than a tera, you might want to modify your usage. You might want to save a lot of that downloading stuff till after 11 p.m. This reminds me of those night and weekend minutes made famous by AT&T and Singular and all those companies, MCI from back in the day. And big shout out to Pete the Bearded Dragon, who's still pissed at AT&T for those night and weekend minutes back from 1998. Big shout out to the Bearded Dragon, man. Big throwback to that. Anyways, that's in the description if you guys want to check out that article. All right, last piece. AT&T prepaid deals include free Moto G Play or Pure, and then they've added 5G for all. Okay, so we got a bit of an AT&T prepaid network update. Okay, so these are in-store deals headlined by the free Moto G Play and free Moto G Pure. The provider has also enabled 5G network access for all of its prepaid plans. Previously, 5G network access was restricted to the unlimited high-speed data plans. Okay, so here's the deal on the phones. It says here that there's nearly a dozen in-store only port and offers. If any of this rocks your boat, all right, the Motorola's I mentioned, there's a couple of Galaxies. Here's a couple of iPhones, the SE from 2020, the iPhone 11, the SE from 2022. Okay, they've got specials on all these phones. You guys can check it out. And then the plans that go with it. And then actually, I think the most important thing for us, and then here's some Walmart deals pictured down below. I'll go ahead and link this for you guys too. But for us, I think the important thing here is that now all the prepaid plans, regardless of which type it is on AT&T prepaid, you're going to be getting the full 5G network access. So that means millimeter wave 5G plus. That means the C-band and DoD 5G plus, the DSS 5G plus, 5G, and then the low band 5G. It's all fully supported on all AT&T prepaid and all Cricket wireless plans moving forward. I'll go ahead and link this for you guys. Big shout out to the fine folks over at bestmvno.com for dropping this on us and giving this the update. And big shout out to the homie Jose for sending this notification over to me. Appreciate it, man. Shout out to you and good looking out, keeping the SMT Nation informed in the prepaid space. Comment on this as well as the StarLink story. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say on these things. You are the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard. Like, share, subscribe for more. Turn on that bell notification icon to never miss an upload. Links for the channel and everything that's going on with it down in the description. And of course, we always end our videos with a positive note from the SMT. Every day is a new opportunity to be great. Go out there and be great. Thanks for watching. See you all in the next one. Peace.